Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello! My name is Heather. I am a YouTuber who has really bad ADD and can't make videos that are shorter than 10 minutes. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for clicking on to another one of my videos. So for which either you are, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification if it decides to work. And also, if you like this video at any point, please hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out and it also helps show my channel a little bit of love, and it just helps it grow progressively every day. So that would really be awesome. Also, if you don't like this video, you can give it a thumbs down because it is a free world and you can do whatever you want. So as you guys probably saw the other day, if you follow me over on my makeup Instagram account, you would have seen that I put up a poll on my story asking you guys what kind of video you guys liked me to see, and from the poll you guys said you'd want me to from that poll you guys said you wanted to see me do a video about my injuries. Yes, this is going to be part one because I have had a lot of injuries. I've had a lot of little things happen. I just have a lot of stories about things I've done to my body because I've just been a clumsy kid. I'm always doing something. So we are going to jump right into this video. So for these videos, I'm going to be kind of doing like a timeline of all of my injuries, starting from when I was very little. I think I was like maybe 2 or 3. I was walking, I was running, I was playing, I was having fun. But what I used to do as a kid is I would sit in the W position. And if you guys aren't familiar with the W position, so if you guys can see, I used to sit with my feet out like this, and it actually hurts still to do it nowadays. But yeah, so I used to sit like that as a kid all the time. It was comfortable. I see a lot of kids just anywhere sit like that, and for me at least, what it did to me was it knocked my hips out of alignment. So pretty much, it's kind of hard visual, but your hips sit like this, and this is the top of your hip bones that you can see on some people, like myself. So your hips usually sit like this, but for me, sitting like that, it knocked my hips out of place, so it pushed my hips, like the back of it, like inward. It's so hard to explain. So pretty much it like pushed my like 2 hip bones like backwards in a way, or in. So the front of my hip bone like protrudes a little bit more than normal. So when I have like a flat toned stomach, like when I've been working out, you can see them a lot more. My cat is attacking me from under the quilt. You guys can see this. He is insane, I swear, guys. Ow! He got me! Hey, get. So sitting like that is bad. We didn't really realize until one day I was out in the backyard just running around, and suddenly, apparently, I don't remember, I was like 2 or 3. I was running in the backyard and suddenly I just collapsed to the ground and started screaming and crying that my knee was hurting. And so my mom took me to the doctor, and they noticed that my kneecaps were slightly out of alignment. Actually, no, they didn't even notice that until I got older. They noticed that my hips, because I guess, I don't remember exactly how she found out, what they said at the doctors. I was too young, okay? But pretty much they told her, you know, my hips were out of alignment. They could fix it, but the problem is to fix it, they would have had to break both my hips, and I would have been in a body cast for 6 months. And my mom was like, I am not doing that to my child. And you go, Mom. Thank you for not putting me through that. Yeah, it did cause more problems down the road as I got older, but I also have been able to either work on them myself or go to physical therapy, and some of them it's just working out. Just having more muscle mass can help my knees. So we found out about that, and then that actually has a couple other stories that play into it because it did cause issues. So after that, I did have a following knee problem, not because of my hips being out of line, but I used to do figure skating, and I was at this point in level 3, I believe. I had apparently done a competition. My parents didn't know it was a competition. They thought it was just one of those things where the parents go and watch, because I also had done gymnastics, and I did gymnastics a lot after this too. I ended up going back to it, but there was a thing at the end of the season where the parents would come and watch, and then you get a little ribbon of like participation, and it's fun, and they always made the ribbons like different colors for the seasons, and it was really cool. So my parents thought that was what it was, and they come to find out it actually was a competition, and I had placed, I don't remember what I had placed, I think I won it apparently. I have the medals somewhere tucked away in a box of things I've been getting out of my room because I have redone my room. I will do a video on that. You'll see a little bit more of it in a future video after this comes out. But yeah, so I did figure skating, did all that kind of stuff, won some medals, and I was at practice one night and we were practicing crossovers. So if you don't know what crossovers are, it's when you're kind of going around the edge and you just pretty much just put one foot in front of the other and you just kind of slide around. We were practicing those in a figure eight. So we were all going around this giant figure eight because they had these really cool markers that you could draw on the ice with. And so we were practicing that, and I had slipped and fell and I hit my right knee. My right knee is the knee I always hurt. I don't think I've ever had an issue with my left knee. It's always been my right knee. So I fell, I hit my right knee. It hurt a lot. It was more than likely a bone bruise. I don't remember what I got diagnosed with it, but I'm pretty sure it's a bone bruise because my knee hurt so bad for like a week and a half. Like, no, not even. It was like 2 or 3 weeks. It was killing me. And I was in 2nd grade, by the way, at this point. That happened, and it was turning for a couple days. My mom took me to the doctor, and I got an x-ray, and that was my first time getting an x-ray, and I freaked out. I was terrified of it. I thought it was gonna hurt me. I was so scared. I was so embarrassed after with how overreactive I was about it before going in, and it was just, it was a moment. But they took an x-ray, they said it wasn't broken, nothing was torn, anything like that. They just said it was probably a bone bruise, a strain, whatever. So then the doctor just, ordered me a knee brace at the pharmacy downstairs, and so we just went and picked it up. I just was taking ibuprofen, wore a knee brace for about a week or so, and that was that. So in 2nd grade, again, it was 3 days before summer break, and my sister's Girl Scout troop was over for some kind of little party or whatever. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember because it was 2nd grade. And we were out in the backyard, and at this point we had one of those like play sets where it's like the little tree house with a slide and a ladder in the front and a sandbox underneath, and it had like the wooden bar that comes out and down like 2 legs and has 2 swings and like a little middle bar. It's a big description, I'm sorry, but I remember it vividly because we had it for so long. And then right next to it we had a trampoline, which was the coolest thing ever as a kid. I remember getting it for Christmas and we freaked the fuck out. Sorry for my language, but we freaked out. We were so excited. I went to jump on it first, and before the net was even up, and I bounced right off. I was so stupid as a kid. I always got hurt, I'm telling you. I keep getting hurt, apparently, because I have stories up until, like, just a month or so ago. Like, that'll be in these videos, I promise, because that was interesting. So we were out in the backyard, and, a few weeks prior, we had a friend over, and we had a thing where we'd run up the slide, and, one of us was running up the slide, and the slide broke. So we took the slide off and got rid of it, but we hadn't replaced it by this time in the story. So we're sitting up in the treehouse. Well, I'm up in the treehouse. There's some girls on the slide, some girls on the trampoline. I remember I was up in the treehouse, and they had an ice cream cake. So I was sitting up in the treehouse eating my ice cream cake, hanging out, playing, having fun, all this stuff. And one of the girls was like, or somebody was like, let's go on the trampoline. So a couple of us were like, yeah, let's go. So I put my cake down, and instead of going down the stairs, I wanted to jump down because I was so excited because I had a bunch of sugar. And so I go to jump down from where the slide used to be. Come to find out that they didn't take the screws out of that plank of wood from where the slide was when they took the slide off. So I go to jump down, and my shorts get hung up on it for like half a second. Throws me off balance. I fall. I land on my arm. I don't even remember exactly what it felt like at first. All I just remember is I felt something painful, and I was screaming my head off, like bloody murder blood curdling screaming. And so my mom comes running out because my parents were inside with a bunch of the other girls' parents, moms normally, because that's just how Girl Scouts are. Not always, but their moms were inside hanging out and everything. My mom comes running out, my dad comes following him, and I'm holding my arm, and I roll over, and I'm like holding my arm, they sit me up, and they're like, you know, what hurts? And I'm like screaming, my arm. And so my dad picks me up and carries me in the stairs. I'm like hyperventilating at this point. Stop biting me. So my dad carries me inside, sits me down on the counter right next to the sink, and I think like a week before, or like a couple days before, whatever, I was at this place called Pump It Up, which was like an indoor bouncy house place where it was just a ton of just bouncy house blow-ups. It was amazing. It was the coolest place ever. Pump It Up was where it was at. So I was there, I fell down I was playing, whatever, I got a really big friction burn on my elbow, and it was a giant scab, and I had ripped it off like a day or two before, and it had just scabbed up again. It was like, you know when you like tear a scab off and it comes back like thicker? That was where it was at when I fell. And so when I had fallen, I don't know how, but like the whole scab got ripped off, and under our tree house was mulch. So all of this mulch got stuck in my like cut and stuff. So I'm like holding my arm and like trying to get some of the mulch out, but it hurt so bad because this like injury was deep. My dad's like holding my arm, and he goes to move it out, and I start screaming because I couldn't move it out. And then he goes to feel my arm, and when he gets about to the middle, I screamed, like it hurt so bad, and he was like, yeah, it's broken. So my mom's like, great. So my dad stays with my sister and all of them, and all of that mess. And actually, come to find out, one of the girls sitting on the swing, like right next to where the slide used to be, apparently heard my arm crack too. Great. So flash forward, my mom is driving me to the children's emergency room. That's kind of far. Luckily it was like right after traffic, so like it still took forever to get there, and I was in so much pain, like saying, oh, it was so bad. We get there, we're waiting, they take x-rays, and they're like trying to move my arm around to take x-rays, and then we're waiting for the x-rays, and a nurse comes in to clean my cut. And I swear to you guys, at that point, I couldn't even feel my arm. All it was just sheer pain right where that cut was, because she had tweezers, and she was trying to get all of it out, and it was, oh, I can still feel that, like, I still like move because I'm like, oh my god. And I just heard the weirdest noise outside. Oh, it's a kid. That was so weird. But yeah, that pain, unimaginably painful. It was terrible. Like, the break was bad, but that hurt too, like really bad. So they get it cleaned as much as they could, and then they come in with x-rays and a bunch of supplies, and I was like, oh, fluff, something bad happened. They're like, yeah, you fractured your arm, this bone, this is the radial, no, ulna, I broke my ulna. So I fractured it right in the middle. So because like, you have your ulna and your radial, and when you like turn your hand, like, this is a little science thing for you guys, okay? Palm up, your ulna and your radial are like next to each other, and then when you go palm down, they cross, and it's really creepy. That's how people can like break both bones like right in the middle. So I had the fracture. So what they decided to do was they decided to just put me in a temporary cast and send me to a better doctor, or like, because it was just an emergency room, so they decided to send me to a doctor. The next day we got an appointment in because my arm was obviously broken. I needed a cast. They couldn't give me a real cast at the emergency room. So they send me to a doctor, and the doctor decides to do a little test with me. And he was like, okay, if you fell on your arm, hold your arm and just turn from palm up to palm down, or palm down to palm up, like either one, whichever it was. And I couldn't. It hurt so excruciatingly bad. And he was like, you broke your elbow too. And I was like, great, this is just great. Come to find out, I broke the radial head, so I broke my ulna, and then I broke the other one at the top, which is the head of it, which actually is where your girth plate is. Come to find out that my arm is actually like a centimeter shorter or so than my other arm. That's a thing. And so he was like, yeah, your elbow's broken and you're gonna have to be in a cast up to your shoulder for 4 weeks, and then below your elbow for 2 weeks, and then a brace for another 2 weeks. That was literally all of summer break into school. So, and for that summer break, I was at Disney in Florida in a cast up to my elbow. And apparently they make these things where they're these rubber sleeves that you can put over your cast all the way up to your shoulder. They make ones for your shoulder. They also make the shorter ones too, but they make one up all the way up to your shoulder, and you take a little pump and you pump the air out just enough so it's like vacuumed, but you can like still have blood flow to your arm, because I made the mistake of the first time putting it on. I was like, Mom, I can pump it myself. I got this. And I go to pump it, and I ended up cutting off the circulation to my hand. And also, while we were on that trip, we were there with friends. So they were with us, and the mom decided to, because I don't remember exactly where my parents were at the moment. I think they were coming back from the hotel room or whatever. I wanted to go swimming at the pool. So she decides she was gonna pump it for me. And so I'm swimming, and at one point somehow the seal breaks just ever so slightly, and I got some water in my cast. So I go up to my mom and I'm like, Mom, look, I can like shoot water out of my cast, like slinging my arm, like my arm is like this, like my arm is stuck like this, and I'm like, Mom, look, like I could shoot water out of my arm, like throwing my whole body, like going like this, like it was something else. And my mom was just like, oh gosh. So we go back to the hotel room, and we sit there with like a blow dryer on, like cool, like trying to dry out as much as we could, because we could not get it wet because it makes it like smell bad, and because of the moisture, I guess you can like, it can get moldy, and then like you can get an infection, and it's just a whole mess. Flash forward to me getting my cast off. I go into the doctor's, and you know, he warns me beforehand. He's like, hey, like, look, when we take this cast off, don't fully extend your arm out. Simple enough, right? Yeah, apparently my 2nd grade brain couldn't comprehend that. So, you know, they do their little cuts, they take the cast off, and my first instinct, I go, fring, and I start screaming and crying. And the doctor's like, yeah, I told you not to do that. And I was like, yes. And it scared me, so I didn't move my arm for like 3 days or something. Like, it was bad. I still like held my arm, like I babied it. Finally, I like started like slowly like moving it and everything. My left arm has always been weaker than my right because of all of my injuries. I have injured my left arm twice. So then I have the short cast, and I slowly am able to fully extend it. I go swimming to help with that, and then I get that off. And I don't really remember too much from when having the short one. I don't really remember a ton from having the cast, but that is where I'm going to end for today, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below, you know, what you liked about it, what moments you had, if you can relate to anything or any of these specifically for now. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great night. I hope you guys have a great week or weekend, depending on whenever you guys are watching this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace. Bye.